This video is brought to you by Bantio TCG.
What is up guys, Cardog here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be going over the BT-22 Sleuth deck featuring the Alphamon. So without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. This deck is super fun to play. Originally I was hoping to build like a full-on Alphamon deck, but looking at the CS engine, it's a pretty interesting engine to play with, and I do like seeing all the CS Digimon, so I did choose to build it the CS way. But without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. So for the Digimon, we're running 4 of the Wanyamon. Wanyamon is here to help reduce the evolution costs for when you reclimb, which is pretty good because you'll be able to generate hand advantage, and you'll also be able to get abilities off and also fulfill some conditions for your other cards. So yeah, Wanyamon, really strong Digimon for the CS deck. Next, for the level 6s in the main deck, we are going to be running 4 of the Alphamon. Alphamon is your main win con here. It's a pretty strong card. Its ability is on play, on evolution, and on attack. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5k per turn for the turn, and it is not once per turn. So every time you attack with it, you'll be able to get the ability off. You'll be able to get off when you Digivolve, and then since you'll be attacking twice, you will do another 5 each. So that's minus 15k potentially, which is pretty good. And then on all turns, whenever the Digimon suspends, if Kyoko is in this card's source, or if this deck has 2 or more cards with the same level, then you can get plus 3000 DP on the end of one turn, and then this Digimon unsuspends. So this card actually works with the full-on X antibody traditional Alphamon deck, because the condition is pretty easy to fulfill, since you'll be able to Digivolve on top of it with the X antibody stuff as well. But yeah, card's good. Got a reboot and blocker as well, so you will be blocking one turn afterwards. So there is that, and we're also running 1 copy of the Digimon. So this is another SR. We're running 1 just because this is a tech that I find pretty interesting. So its ability is it's got Ice Clad and it's got Blocker. So Ice Clad comes in pretty handy because you'll be able to build a huge stack with their ability, with the ability of your CS cards. And then on evolution, if this card stack has 2 or more of the same level cards, you can trash any 4 evolution cards from your opponent's Digimon, and then return one of your opponent's Digimon with one or fewer evolution cards to the bottom of the deck. So this is a form of removal that you can get, and Ice Clad is also a really strong ability, so it's just good. And then at the end of her turn, one of the Digimon may unsuspend, so you'll be able to use her blocker ability. So blocking with Ice Clad is just good. If you play the deck properly and you don't get Source Stripped, you'll most likely have the biggest stack on the board. So she's pretty safe. And then we're running 1 copy of the Oryumon. This is just mainly here, so your Alphamon can Blast Evolve into Oryuken. If your opponent doesn't expect it and just ram into your Alphamon, it's just a surprise. If they do expect it, then it's fine, because then you can kind of fend them off with it. So yeah, it's just a nice card to have just in case. And that's why we're running 2 copies of the Oryuken. This card's pretty good, no need for any explanation, just because he is the ace. It's form removal. If you DNA Digivolve with it, you can recover as well. So yeah, overall just really good. Now moving on to level 5s, we are running 4 copies of the Rise Greymon. I think this is the best level 5 in the CS line. It's because of the Inherit, which gives you a security +1, which means your Alphamon will be able to do 4 checks pretty easily. And then if you have for the evolution source ability, for the evolution ability, when you evolve, if you have 1 or 2 Tamers, you can play 1 red or black Tamer for a play cost of 4 or less, or 1 Tamer with a CS trait. So you'll be able to play Kyoko with it because it is a Tamer with CS trait, even though it's 5 cost. So pretty good. And there are cards in this deck that can help. The Tamers can remove themselves, so having 1 or 2 Tamers is not super hard. you can kind of like tune your field until you get the optimal Tamers that you want on the field. Next, for the other level 5s, we're running 3 copies of the Digimon. So Digimon's ability is when this card, when an effect tracks this card from this security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 8k. And then on evolution, by trashing the top card of security, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon with Kantosaurumon, BT-22, or CS trait in the hand with the evolution cost reduced by 2. So this is another way that you can reduce evolution costs, which is pretty good. And then the inherit is on attack, when your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4k. So not as... Main reason I'm running this is because you can Digivolve into Alphamon for cheaper, which is really nice. So we're running 3 of those, but I do like the security check more. But this is another option. And then now we're moving into level 4s. We're running 4 of the Gold Numemon. This card's really good, just like how it's really good in the CS games. So on play and on evolution, you can give your opponent's Digimon security attack plus -2. And then if this Digimon has 2 or more of the same level cards, then this Digimon may Digivolve into a Platinum Numemon for a evolution cost of 4, ignoring the evolution requirements, which is not really the point of this card. The main point is the inherit. It's when this Digimon would Digivolve into a card with CS trait, you can reduce the evolution cost by 1. So really important ability to help speed the deck up and just make everything evolve for a lot less. So it's really good. And then we are running 4 of the Gargomon. Gargomon is another Tamer player, so on evolution, you're one of your Tamers, you can play a Tamer card with CS trait from your hand with paying its cost, and then the inherit is 1k, which is it helps your Alphamon not crash as easily. And then we're also running 2 of the Gardomon. So Gardomon, on play on evolution, when your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3k, and then if this card stack has 2 or more of the same level cards, you can do the Digivolve 1. So the Digivolve is pretty good. So we're running 2 of those. You're not always going to get the second half ability off, so I'm running 2 for that reason, just because it's not super reliable. You do need to have another level 4 first, but if you need it, it is there. So you can kind of play around with your level 4s. And then the inherit gives you plus 2k on your opponent's turn, which is really good because everything, most of your big boys have blocker. So being able to block for higher is nice. It doesn't really matter for the Animon, but for Alphamon it definitely does. So we're running 2 of those, and also we're running 2 of the Repamon. Repamon is on play and on evolution, whenever one opponent's Digimon gets minus 3k, and then by trashing the top card of security, one opponent's Digimon gets minus 6k. So pretty good at dealing with floodgates, and if you're minusing 6k, you can also potentially deal with a bigger Digimon. So it's just a pretty strong level 4 you have, but it does require you sacrificing some of your security, but it's okay. But the security ability of this card is pretty good as well. If it's trash by an ability, you can play this card without paying its cost. And then the inherit is on attack when your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2k. So it's pretty solid level 4. Like, all of the CS level 4s are pretty solid in my opinion, but I chose to run these ones just because I feel like it helps move on with my game plan a little bit easier. So we're running 2 of those, and then now to move on to level 3s, we're running 4 of the Terriermon. Terriermon, once per turn, you can place a Digimon. When an effect places a Digimon with CS trait, it discards the illusion source. If you have one of your Tamers, you can play a Tamer with CS trait for your hand without paying its cost. So it just helps get your Tamers out faster, which is really nice. You want to have the Ami out as soon as possible. Kyoko, not as important, but still kind of important. So you just want to have one of them out ASAP. And then the inherent ability is it activates during the main phase. By placing this CS trait Digimon at the top of the stack of this card, evidence card, you can draw 1. So you can kind of help just get more cards and get pieces for your stack. And then we're also running 4 of the Palmon. So Palmon is on your main once per turn during your turn when a opponent places Digimon with a CS trait, this card's evolution source, you can gain 1 memory. And then the main ability is by placing the CS trait, top card, bottom of the evolution card, you draw 1. So both of them just help you draw, which is really nice. Helps you dig through the deck pretty fast. So you can already, if you get the right pieces, you can climb to your tower by like the second turn. So it's quite nice. And then we're also running 2 of the Hagurumon. So Hagurumon pretty much has the same ability as the other 2, except instead of getting memory and drawing a card, you get a -3000 on something, which helps get rid of floodgates, which is why I'm running 2. It's not as important, but the inherit is the same. So if you want to run more, you definitely can bump this up to 3 if you want, but I feel like as long as you open one of them, you'll be fine. So running 10 rookies, which is a little bit scary for some people, but we have a lot of different searchers in this deck, so it's actually fine. And your level 4s have on-play abilities anyway, so it's okay. Next, we're going to be running 3 copies of Gyoko. So she's a memory setter, and also on all turns, whenever one of your level 4 or higher CS trait Digimon are deleted, you can suspend this Tamer to return a CS trait Digimon from your trash to your hand. So this is pretty important because you'll be able to recycle your pieces. So make sure you use this ability whenever you can, because if you forget, you neg, which feels pretty bad. And it's also kind of important for the second ability, which is once per turn on your turn, whenever this Digimon unsuspends, if you do not have an Alphamon, this Digimon can Digivolve into Alphamon from the hand with the evolution cost reduced by 2. So you'll be able to Digivolve into Alphamon for 3. Keep in mind, this is the only Alphamon she can Digivolve into right now because the other Alphamons cannot bypass the evolution requirement. This card does not ignore the evolution requirement, so you do have to find the correct Alphamon. And then, yeah, so she's a memory center, so she's good. We're also running 4 Ami. Ami is the main Tamer you want to get out. So it's 4 cost. Also, start main phase if your opponent has a Digimon on the board, get 1 memory. And then when any of your Digimon Digivolve into a CS trait card, if its evolution card has a card with the same level as the Digivolve Digimon, you can suspend this Tamer to Digivolve into a Digimon with a CS trait without paying its cost. So using this will help you skip levels, which is really, really nice. So you want to have this out as soon as possible. So she's quite important. And then we're also running 3 copies of the Mide. Mide is here to help you cheat out Tamers. She's 3 on her own, so you're kind of using this as a memory boost. But instead of looking at 4, grabbing 1, you can ditch a card with CS trait and then draw 2. So she's really nice. And then on your main phase, you can return this Tamer to the bottom of the deck to play a card with a CS trait. A Tamer with a CS trait, so you really get your Ami or your Kyoko out. It's pretty good. And we're also running 4 copies of the Kuremi Detective Agency. This is the actual memory boost of the deck. So if you have a CS trait Digimon or Tamer on the field, you can ignore this card's requirements. And then you can reveal the top 3 cards of the deck and add a CS trait from among them, and then put the rest of the bottom of the deck. And then the delay is just to get 2 memories. So overall, the deck is pretty self-explanatory. All you need to do is get your Tamer set up, and then try to build your stack as soon as possible, and then you'll be able to just smash your opponent's face in with the Alphamon. And then on your opponent's turn, if they attack into you, and since you're digging through your deck so much and just drawing stuff, unless you put this in the bottom with your Detective Agency, you should be able to get this by the time you need it. But yeah, just try to get into Alphamon as soon as possible and just attack 4 checks with it, and then you should be able to win. So yeah, just try to get rid of opponents as soon as possible because you don't really have that much protection, and you know you do have recovery plays using Kyoko and whatnot, so it's not all bad. Like if your Alphamon gets deleted and you still have Kyoko on the board, you can still fetch it back, and then when it unsuspends, you can Digivolve into Alphamon on your next turn. So it's still okay. But yeah, the deck is really fun, and I really like the playstyle. It really does remind me of the video game. But that's pretty much it for this deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to build this deck, feel free to go back to TGG and use the coupon code that's 0725 for 3% off checkout on all orders above 13 USD. But that's pretty much it for this deck. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a card update. I'll see you guys next time. Sorry I'm all over the place. I'm back after a while. I haven't made a video in a long time, so I'm just kind of getting used to it again. Because the stuff that you've seen this week is actually pre-recorded from before. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. This is a card update. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!